everybody. This is Heather Lockett with Lasting Conversations. Wherever you are around the globe, again, Happy New Year. I'm recording in the very early week of January 2025. So here's to 2025. It's still a very interesting in-between time. So the major part of the holidays have passed. In some religions and cultures, they're still in the height of their celebration. We have officially rung in the timeline of 2025 around the globe. And yet it's still, people are not in school, people are not in work. Some stores are open. My location right now in amazing Rockport, Massachusetts, a lot of places have done that hibernating thing we talked about last week. They've gone on vacation. They've had their hubbub of the holidays, and now they've closed up. And it is officially awfully chilly. It's cold. A lot of you are going to have some bizarro polar vortex of some sort, and the winds of change are upon us, literally and figuratively and metaphorically. So, like I had mentioned before, and interestingly, some of my mentors, when I hear them before meditation, they've been talking about rest. They've been talking about a pause. That's still our huge invitation. While the Schumann resonance is doing its thing, while the earth energies are very intense, while things have been coming up emotionally for us or physically, if there have been moves. I think I heard somebody literally got dumped on Christmas Day from a relationship, from their marriage. So things are happening. Things are happening big time. And some of it is a lot of not fun. There's a lot of things in the news about violence and people who have taken their freak out against other souls. And so we bless them. We bless the souls that have been lost recently. And this is sort of the whole point about that invitation of where we choose to put our energy, where we can, as we can, rest and relax to rejuvenate and be a source of strength for others as they then need it. We don't know what's about to happen in the course of January, in the course of this year. I'm sure there will be amazing, very, very exciting things. And there could be some things that a lot of people are not going to like. So again, for right now, while it's still this interesting pause time, businesses are sort of back to work and they're sort of not. And it's a toggle time. I can feel it for myself. I've had this time back in the States to rest and to celebrate and be with friends and family. I will be getting back on an airplane over to London next week. So, and then a ... More will be happening with Lasting Conversations. More will be happening in finding a new place to actually call home. And this goes right back once again about what is home. What is home, where we land in ourself first and in a community. I get to be meeting new people where they live, if they're local or if they've moved to these different towns, and I can ask them, what are the pros and cons, or what have you felt about that? And then I can make my decision. Although I think the decision has been made ahead of me, as we've talked about before. All of this, all of our whole lives really are bigger than us. Things play out so much bigger than us. And one of the joys and gifts that I received a beautiful book by Marshall Bednar over the holidays. And so I've been reading this autobiography, and we might have him on the show, which would be a lot of fun. What is the gift of this book really is so universal, and it has to do from messed to blessed. And it's of a chaotic childhood, a chaotic family scenario with one thing after another that would just curl your toes. It's kind of the opposite of a Hallmark movie. And yet here's the beauty of it. It is a Hallmark movie in that within the resilience and the faith of these very people, of the cast of characters, there was always this thread of love and resilience and understanding that this too shall pass. Now, we'll get into the rest of it because as kiddos, we don't really understand these things. But when you can look back and then just know, we don't have to come out the other side of tragedy or trauma and feel that everything has to just stink. and everything has to blow up. There are people here that have that kind of resilience to know that there's joy and laughter, and that in the midst of chaos and insanity, there's some humor, and it's just ridiculous. And of course, I've found that in my own life. And sometimes, when you're on your knees, you don't quite get that. And yet, even in those moments, when you can pause to say, all right, this really is crazy. This too shall pass. And why this keeps coming up as a theme, I did talk to a friend of mine today, and things in her world, same thing. One person is having a really hard time, or a few people, and then another, and a baby's being born. So life does this continuum. Life is this continuum. And that's the continual invitation. And once again, I'll start sounding like Mr. Rogers, who always managed to bring it back in its simplicity. You matter. The people around you matter. You are you, very special. And when you can remember that, you will then know and have the strength to not only go on, but to help another and to help your community. And we don't have to go save the world and go guns blazing, charging after one thing or another. That's part of the other major shift right now, is that it is an evolutionary time, but we no longer have to go screaming and yelling about it necessarily. We can find that calm and peace. And within that, there is such strength, and there's strength in numbers for that too. So it's very interesting what's kind of coming through today in Massachusetts, that quite literally was the birth of the American Revolution. And to some, it's another revolutionary time, but I'm going to say it's an evolutionary time, because it's more than just this one location. And things are bubbling up to the surface, which can make people angry and scared and nervous and want to grab their power, but grab their power in unhealthy ways. What we're talking about here is owning our own personal power in very healthy ways. And when we do that, there's no need to take it out on everybody else, or there's no need to create a business that is there for just money only and not for the sake of humanity. We'll leave the rest of those conversations for another day. I think in this moment, what's important, as we are in January, in the Chinese New Year will be happening, and all of the different calendars are coming forward to usher in something new. It's the year of the snake, and snakes are all about transition and change. And we've had the dragon, also about fire and change and transition as well. So while we are all of us transitioning into something new, however that looks, remember your own core. Remember who you can reach out to. Remember some great music that you can listen to. Remember your own tools. I can call them the tools of sanity if you need to, whatever you need to do. And to find a beautiful spot, take that good long breath, have a pause, find some nature where you can. And always, always remember the sun is shining somewhere, even if it's a very cloudy day or a blizzardy day or whatever kind of day it is. The sun is there, and the moon also comes up, and nature knows what it's doing, and animals know what they're doing, and children know what they're doing. Follow the lead of the kids. They're here to show us a new way. Listen to your elders. They also know a few things. I will add that I did watch that Bob Dylan movie over the holidays, and listen to those songs, listen to music. The hippies knew a few things, and that was an evolutionary time, and now we're in it again. The times they are definitely a changing. So for right now, from beautiful Rockport, Massachusetts, this is Heather Lockett with Lasting Conversations, wishing all of you a very peaceful, joy-filled, and wonderful 2025. Thanks for listening, everybody. Please be sure to like, follow, review, and share this and all of the other episodes. Take care.